The Dunning-Kruger effect. If you don't know what that is, stick around and I'll explain. If you do know, you might think it's just about people with low IQs. But is that really true? Could you be caught in the Dunning-Kruger effect? Maybe even right now. This video is for curious people who wish to improve their lives through sharper thinking. By the end of this video, you'll understand what the Dunning-Kruger effect is, when it applies, and to whom. You'll also learn how to reduce the chances you fall for this cognitive trap. Let's get started. The Dunning-Kruger effect is named after psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, who documented the phenomenon in a 1999 paper. The pop culture version often summarizes the effect as a bias where low IQ people overestimate their ability. But that internet version is far too broad. More precisely, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with limited competence or knowledge within a domain tend to overestimate their ability, and people with high competence in that same domain often underestimate theirs. It's not about general intelligence. It's about how accurately we judge our competence within specific domains of knowledge or skill. By domain, I mean a discipline or skill that requires specialized knowledge. While it's true that low IQ individuals are more susceptible, people with high IQ can definitely experience the same bias. For example, you might be a great athlete, but that doesn't make you competitive in other arenas. Even smart people can say and do really dumb things, especially when they step outside their area of expertise. And if you understand that, you're already miles ahead of most people. So, what's causing this cognitive bias? Well, you don't know what you don't know. Dunning and Kruger argued that if you don't know enough to be competent in a domain, you also don't know how to tell the difference between good and bad performance. In short, you're unable to self-assess. But let's look at the other end of the spectrum. Why do highly competent people underestimate their ability? Psychologists offer several explanations, but the most compelling, in my view, is that experts are more aware of complexity. They're more attuned to nuances, edge cases, and unknowns. The more you know about a subject, the more you realize how large the domain is, and how much you still don't know. Highly competent people also tend to underestimate how much harder it is for average performers to reach their level. A classic curse of knowledge bias. The result? They overestimate how well others will perform compared to themselves. The big takeaway is that everyone is susceptible to the Dunning-Kruger effect, even you. So why should you care? And what can you do to minimize its effect? The Dunning-Kruger effect quietly shapes real-world decisions, yours and everyone else's. It can show up at work when someone argues confidently about a topic they barely understand. It appears in leadership when experience in one area gets mistaken for universal expertise. It shows up in everyday front-page issues like health, money, and politics. People often mistakenly gravitate to those who speak with the greatest confidence and authority. When confidence outruns competence, mistakes multiply, and feedback may arrive too late to help. And here's the paradoxical twist. Intelligence doesn't guarantee immunity. What can we do to counter this cognitive bias? The Dunning-Kruger effect is part of being human. We're all subject to it. It's not just a low IQ problem. The good news is there are ways to keep it in check. For starters, just knowing about the Dunning-Kruger effect helps. You're welcome. Here are a few other things you can do. Never stop learning. Knowledge offers perspective and insight. Seek feedback. Mentors are great, but also give people who disagree with you a fair hearing. Be keenly aware of your circle of competence. Know when you're stepping outside of it. Value facts and data over opinions. Cultivate intellectual humility. Challenge your views. Ask, what evidence would prove me wrong? And if you're highly skilled, it's easier to assume others see your domain the way you do. They often don't. These practices won't immunize you, but they'll help you self-assess more accurately. If you enjoyed this and want more nuggets of curiosity, go ahead and subscribe. And check out my video on the illusion of understanding. It's closely related to this topic and will help you think sharper. Did I get this right, or have I fallen victim to Dunning-Kruger? Have you ever experienced this cognitive bias? If you said no, check again. Share your story. Drop a comment below.